Is that like how it is? Like, do you think that
Yeah.
you need to paint?
Yeah. Yeah. Because, like, I work well under pressure.
Yeah, no, I know, me too. I feel like I only work under pressure.
Yeah. So, like, when I work under pressure, then I'm able to focus and I'm not thinking about other things. I'm like, oh, you know, like, I could be doing this or I could be doing that. But it's just like, yeah, like, I have to be doing this and that's all I can focus on. So, yeah.
You know those like cubicle things where they have the little like I call
The
them
dividers?
I call them horse blinders just because that's
Horse
what
blinders.
That's what it feels like. You just like you can only like focus on the thing that you have there.
Yeah,
It's, you know, go to the quiet floor if there's people like talking or that distracts you.
Yeah.
But like you go to the silent floor, no one's talking, nothing, and you can just sit there for hours.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, like when I went to the library and I would study, I'd make sure that I had at least 2 hours to study. Like, it's not like I can go there for 30 minutes and then do my studying and that's it. It's like I sit down for 30 minutes. That takes me enough time just to, like,
get into it.
Get into it. Yeah. I've been serving coffee for how long? And it's so hard for me to actually get into a state of flow because it's not challenging for me anymore at all.
Yeah.
So it's like time goes by so slow and I'm so like I'm bored out of my mind and I can't concentrate on my work because I'm thinking about other things. Like I'm in my head.
Yeah.
I'm not concentrating on like the sugar and like cream and stuff like that. So then other people around me, it's like I'm serving them and it's like, oh my gosh, this girl is so dumb. Like, that's what I feel like other people are saying about me. But I've realized that like I need to find a job that I can get into that state of mind rather than like, going off into my head somewhere because I'm bored.
Yeah. No, I totally like that. When you said that, I was like, yes, exactly. That's exactly right. I used to work as like a cashier at a grocery store, and it was just really busy one day, and I was just scanning everything, and it was almost like, you know, like you almost just start doing it as if it's like it's not even like a conscious act that you're like, you know, it's not even, you're just like punching in the code and you're just and I didn't really realize I was doing this for like 45 minutes until a customer came up to me, and he comes like every Saturday, and I always worked every Saturday, and he's like, what, no smile for me today? And I was like, oh, I have. I was like, this is what I said to him. I was like, I don't think I've looked up in the last half an hour. It's just been like, you like say the total and you look like right here. Like I didn't even look at people's faces.
Yeah,
and I was like,
I know. Yeah. Because I just like completely.
I like putting together something that wasn't there before. So
I'm living in my head and then people are like saying things to me or I mess up on an order because I'm not concentrating on their stuff. So
that's the thing with like repetitive jobs is once you know, after the first little bit and eventually you just kind of get the repetitive action down and it's just annoying almost.
Yeah. So like that's the thing, is to find something that's challenging and where you can like actually be present and in the moment. Like that's what I find that I'm like most attracted to, is because like because I'm living so much in my head. And then so whenever I do get into that state of mind of flow and stuff, then I become more present and with it, and I just feel like
I think I like variety. So even if I did this, I think over time I would find that it wouldn't be as exciting for me. But if I spend the day doing it, just kind of if it's about what I'm getting lost in, it's about me.
Like what is like the longest period it's ever like gone on for?
But it can be, you know, here and there.
yeah.
I do get lost. And one day I didn't even eat. And I didn't even realize I spent the whole day without eating anything.
Yeah.
It was so bizarre. I wasn't even hungry. Like it was just like. So that challenge aspect kind of pushes you to grow and lose yourself in a sense, or not lose yourself, but become so involved in in what you're doing that. That you kind of enter into a different space.
Yeah.
Yeah. Without having to go anywhere. It's bizarre.
Yeah. Well, they also say, like, that you don't even, when you're in a state of flow, you're less conscious about who you are. Like, you're not thinking about, oh, my hair, or I'm talking this way, or so, anything like that. It's more like you're really, really in tune with who you are and just going with it, which is so neat. Yeah.
That's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Never considered that.
Yeah. So, like, when I work
we
under
can't relate
pressure,
to it
that
at
I'm able
all.
to focus,
Like,
and I'm
where
not
it's like the
thinking
bane of
about
our
other things.
existence.
I'm
Like,
oh,
you know, I'd be
I could
happy with
doing
a simple
this, or I could be doing
abacus.
that.
What is it called? Abacus?
Like, yeah.
Oh, to count? Yeah. I don't need calculus.
Yeah.
I don't need physics. I'd be fine with an abacus.
It is a good thing.
Why is that not sufficient for a roll?
Pressurized steam.
There was this. This isn't part of my thing, but it probably will be. So I was reading this book about flow, and there was these kids who had what is that called? I think it's autism. I think they had autism, and they had a really hard time paying attention to certain things, like for a long period of time. But there was this one woman, and she loved to cook, and so.
And she was autistic?
She was. Oh, sorry. Okay. So there's the kids, and then there's this woman who loves to cook, and she has her own cooking show.
Okay.
And so these autistic kids, they would watch this woman on television, and because she loved her job so much, and she was in a state of flow.
Yeah.
These kids were mesmerized by her. Like, they would they would watch her for hours, and, like, the parents, they said, like, my kid would never, like, concentrate on one thing for, like, that long period of time. But it's almost like flow could actually be contagious, or, like, it's, like, how you're mirroring, have you ever heard of, like, mirroring another person? Like, if you like them or something like that, or you're on the same page. So then it's almost like the kids are, like, mirroring her.
And then you get to the professors that they just love what they're talking about, and and they're like fascinated, like to the point where it's almost like, you know, like it's you find it endearing because you're like, it's so cute how much you just love what you're doing. But those, you know, I don't think I've ever fallen asleep in like my physics class. My physics professor loves what he does.
Yeah,
He's always, you know, very enthusiastic, very, you know.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's
cool.
And so how do you think that you're going to apply that to teaching? Like, just, because I know, like, up north, there's a whole bunch of, like, teachers that are teaching things that aren't their, like, majors. Like, there's, like, one of my sister's science teacher is a math major, but she's teaching her science, right? Like, do you think that is, like, a problem, or is that a...
See, now I'm not in a state of flow. I'm thinking about up north and science. Okay, sorry, say that again.
Rather than being present. I think this is the challenge for me, is that I feel like I'm always getting lost in my head, and that I need something to bring me back down to earth to feel present, and to feel flow, and to feel connected. So, I don't know. Like, I was talking with my roommate, and she said,
daydream.
So, like, when you talk about daydreaming, would you say that, like, you live more in your head than, like, in the world around?
Oh, yes, definitely during, like, the last few years. No, I completely would say that I definitely do. Because,
really?
Yes, because, like you're, like, most of the time, like, you're sitting there with a book, right?
Yeah,
Complete silence.
Yeah.
And then, like, even at work, right? It's like, because I'm a unit clerk, so I'm in that little, like, glass fishbowl,
right?
That's what I call it, right?
Yeah.
Alone for most of the time. And if I'm working nights, I just kind of, like, you know, it's a 12-hour shift, and you're like sitting there at like 5 o'clock in the morning, just waiting for, like, you know, time to pass. And so.
Yeah, I know it's quite interesting. I find that I can sometimes be in a completely different world, and I have my own little, it's almost like an own little world, inner world, that that nobody else is absolutely aware of at all. But I'm running my own little drama here, and it's like very intense, and like, but I guess there's so much. There's good things and bad sides about that. So, because it's in a way, if what I'm getting lost in is about me, it can be very self-absorbed, and it can be, I don't know, I don't find it very satisfying.
Yeah, so like people doing jobs that they don't enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the problem. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's definitely one of the things, because before I still do this, of course, but I just chase after other things, external things.
The extrinsic motivation. So like the money.
Yeah.
They're going in it for the money. They're not going in it because they enjoy the subject.
Yeah.
So that's the problem.
Like physical things.
Yeah.
In order to feel content.
Yeah.
And I'm realizing more and more it doesn't have anything to do with that. I even at one point I was in Mexico. Beauty in its grandeur, like the ocean, gorgeous, because it's the Mayan Riviera, and it's white sand, and it's like gorgeous.
I don't
Because there's
need
too many
calculus.
possibilities.
I don't need physics.
Which is why I'm sure some people love math.
Why is
right?
that not
'Cause math is
sufficient
all
for our
about,
world?
well, patterns
So
and
it's almost like
combinations and
it's like
possibilities.
very hard.
I like quitting. But for me, it's like the only person I could really do that with is my sister, because I can just be completely myself there and I can forget about her. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like really I'm just like by myself because she's not really there. Oh, it's kind of funny that way.
No, I know what you mean.
You just get lost. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just very hollow in a lot of aspects. And actually, I think it took me getting to that place for me to realize that there must be, that I needed to look elsewhere. But the distractions only last so long.
Right.
And then it feels kind of empty after a while.
Would you say that, I don't know, because for me sometimes I feel like I do get, I think, like I'm more getting lost in my head.
That's what I said to him. I was like, I don't think I've looked up in the last half an hour.
Mr.
It's just been like,
Like 11,
you like see the total and you look
grade.
like right here. Like I didn't even look at people's faces.
Yeah, I know.
Equation tattoo.
I've been serving coffee for how
Wow.
long, and
He just loved it.
it's so hard for me.
He
to
had short
actually
curly
get
hair
into
and
a safe
glasses,
flow
like
because it's
wire-rimmed
not challenging.
glasses, and he was in his early 50s, very
So it's like
very wiry
time
kind of
goes by
person.
so
Just I don't know. That's
slow.
I just think of him and I just think
And
of
I'm
wires
so
for some
like
reason.
bored out of my mind,
And
and I can't concentrate
just
on
very
my
very
work
passionate.
because I'm
And
thinking
really
about other
got
things.
me
Like,
into
I'm in my
math, which is
head. I'm not
totally
concentrating on like
unexpected.
the sugar and cream and
Just
stuff
very
like that.
unexpected.
So then other people around me, it's like I'm serving them.
I think over
But
time I would
with
find
you
that it
liking
wouldn't
math, that's almost like a mirror.
Right.
But if I
Right.
spend the day